Hey folks, welcome back. All right, we got this 2003 Dodge Ram in here. They were complaining about this thing having low power at times, and a check engine light came on. We've got a P0237, which is the map pressure voltage low. And it's not a signal voltage. It's talking about the voltage too low being, from the sensor itself. So I'm going to bring you along with what I'm finding here and everything like that, and how to troubleshoot this, because the sensor that we're after is right in here. And what kind of confused me a little bit based on the wiring schematics and all that kind of stuff is also this sensor here. So this sensor right here is measuring intake air pressure and temperature. This thing is also measuring intake air temperature and pressure, but this one here is more just like atmospheric type pressure, not necessarily air pressure, but more just atmospheric pressure, and then your intake air temperature, which is going to be different than here because this all runs through your intercooler, and this one here is the pressure is talking about the boost pressure. So anyways, I got these 6 PIDs or 5 PIDs chosen right here to kind of show, what's happening and all that. So we've got the ambient air temperature right here, and then we've got this barometric pressure reading in, I think that's inches mercury. I'm not exactly 100% sure. We've got our boost, your boost pressure right here, which that is what it's going to read. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's, an actual boost number and all that. You can pretty much just calculate that as being, atmospheric pressure as well, from what I understand. Then we've got our intake air temperature degree, the last one right here. So, you can tell these two sensors apart really easy by go ahead and unplugging this one, and we'll watch this voltage deal pop up right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and unplug this sensor, maybe. Oh man, I'm going to need both hands. Okay, you can see that the ambient temperature went down, but then also the voltage went up too, and it's got a 5-volt reference, so that's as high as it's going to go. But let's just go ahead and we'll plug this thing back in. Voltage comes down, and then our reading there it goes. So that that'll tell that. This boost voltage right here, this 1.2, key on, engine off, that is, by the way, the key is on, hence the reason we're connected to this. Come right down in here, and this sensor's back in here. I'll show you a better view of it right there. We'll go ahead and unplug that. You can see that voltage went down to 0. That makes sense because of how it that sensor works, different than this sensor. You can see that I'm glad it ain't that hot out here. So anyways, like I said, what we've got going on is we got to go ahead and just test this circuit out right here real quick, and it's not too bad to do. I've cleared the code, the original 237 code. It's not here anymore. But with this thing unplugged, I'm probably going to get some other ones in here with this. So we got this ambient. This one should go away. We're going to clear this. This one right here should stay. No, leave that one. That one's going to go away. This one right here is going to stay because this is our 237, but it's going to be there, I think, because this thing is unplugged now. We're going to go ahead and that's the only 4 that we've got in here. Okay, so we're going to clear the fault codes. Okay, said they're still present, so let's go back in here and check this. Okay, I expected this one to remain because it's unplugged. that one for sure too, because we'll go back in here and we will read the data stream. We're gonna leave these ambient ones out of here. Boost pressure, we want boost voltage. I think that's the only two we want right now. So we got low voltage there. Don't know why we've got that intake. Oh, duh. We need to scroll down here and go to these intake temp voltage and degrees. Like, obviously, okay, so that's too high a voltage, so we can go ahead and plug this sensor back in and see that we get down here to 145. So if we cleared them now, everything should go away. Let's just go ahead and do that. Clear fault code. Clear fault code. There we go. Fault code completed. And there shouldn't be anything in here. Obviously, that 237 is not going to return just with key on, engine off, because we're not driving it. Nothing's changing. Everything seems to be functioning and working just fine. You want to find out, if you've got a circuit problem or anything like that, and they've got some steps in there to choose what to do with that. So let's have a look, see at the wiring schematic. Okay, the first thing that that confused me was, and this is always sometimes you're gonna, these wires at the first didn't match what I was seeing as far as in this plug right here. So let's go ahead and get this plug back out of here. And I guess let me grab a flashlight and just show you that sensor. That's it right there. So all we're doing is just reaching in here, and you can get a pick to do this. I tend to be able to get my finger underneath of it and unplug it there. So okay, so what I was saying was these didn't match up as far as what they color wise, and sometimes you're going to find that be the case anyways, but that wasn't the reason why this. You see this thing says intake temperature pressure sensor. That's the first one I saw. And then this down here says intake air temperature manifold pressure sensor. So this one, which one this is this sensor right here. So this one right here is what we're looking for. And then we've got your 5-volt reference. So on this deal right here, the second pin to the left is your 5-volt reference, and that's pretty much you want to put your meter on volts, and then we will just put this on the ground, and then come over here. Okay, come over here and we'll go with that pin that's you're holding it with the clip on top here, second to the left right there. There's your 4.96 volts there. There's also another 5-volt reference right here for the temperature. And so based on, so this right here, this far left pin, which is right here, this far left pin right here, that's your boost signal going in. So right here we've got our 5 volts, and they're calling this A, B, C, and D, which is not ordered right, but anyways, you got this 5-volt right here, and then you got your boost signal going back to the ECM. And so the way that, let's go with our troubleshooting flow chart. Okay, the first thing they want to do right here is, turn your ignition on, and then you get your scanner and read, is there a 5-volt supply DC set? And I don't know the number of that code, but that's not what the 237 is. My printer didn't do very good, but you can see this is your P0237 map sensor voltage too low. Now did it set another 5 volt supply DC, which that might be the high one, which would be like 238 or something like that, which we're going to see here in a little bit, but it's not setting that up. And so what you want to do is it says basically, so it says if yes, then refer to the symptom list for that particular problem. So that's not our issue. So anyways, go to step 2, turn the ignition off, disconnect the map sensor harness. We've got it disconnected now. Obviously, yeah, you'd want to just visually check your connectors. Turn the ignition on, we've got it on. Measure the voltage between the 5 volt supply circuit and the sensor circuit of the map sensor harness connector, and there's the voltage between 4.5 and 5.5 volts. So let's do that. We know that we've got voltage there, and like I said, we are measuring in between. These are the two right here. So we've got our 5 volt there, but then what we want to do is grab our negative off the deal here. I'm pulling you with my leads there, sorry. Go in right here, and we're going to go to the far left. So we got 4.93 volts. So that's good. Now, so if it says yes, then go to step number 3, which is not on that page. It's right here. Okay, so now it says with monitoring the it could be with your scanner. You got your scanner on there. We're going to jumper that 5 volt circuit, which is the same ones that we just did, and then did the P238 map sensor voltage too high DTC set. So that's, get that. So what I've got here seems like a kind of a primitive setup, but I've got this back probe right here, or not back probe, I mean it is a back probe, you can use it that way. We're going to put it right here in this terminal here, the other side of it. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. So these are just tiny little deals, you know, and the jumper wires connected. We'll connect this in here like this on this particular one, but then it's just got an alligator clip on the other side, so I just quickly just did this. So we're going to go ahead and jumper these two together. Leave that. Then we should come over here and read the fault codes. And there's our 238 map sensor voltage too high. Obviously you're still going to get the 237 because it's unplugged. You know, if I cleared it, I think if I cleared it right now, I think that would go away. Let's try that. I think we would just have the intake one. But I think that 237 would go away, and it did. Obviously this one is where it is because that's unplugged, and that's what the fault's going to read when that is unplugged. But just the 238 is there. So basically the PCM is seeing everything we're doing here and changing all that kind of stuff. So basically what they say is if that 238, yes, this is replace the map sensor. That's where our step is, but I'm going to take this a little bit further in the troubleshooting diagnostics to, you know, because everything, even this map sensor and all that stuff seems to be even working like it's supposed to, and this is somewhat, this just happened. And then I don't know, there was something I noticed too, because this thing also had, earlier it had a, I'm going to have to get this thing started up and figure out what, it was a coolant or a cooling fan code, which was pretty easy to diagnose. because I looked down there and seen that. So the fan has chewed off the, somehow that wire got up into the fan, and you know, because it goes down to the bottom. It actually goes down through here. You remove this cover off of here and it plugs in. Gosh, these LED lights are bright when you get them too close. Anyways, so if we took all this off of here and plugged it, we just find the other half of this wire, but it comes down the front of the fan, goes that. So we're gonna have to replace that fan clutch. But I'm wondering if any, what I want to do is I want to see if just report before replacing that map sensor, because I replaced that map sensor a year ago on this pickup because we were having similar issues, and then all of a sudden this came back up, and you know, the fan clutch and everything was fine then. But I'm wondering if any of this 5-volt reference stuff is the same, you know, or shared or anything like that, and maybe when this fan chewed up this, it dropped that voltage down, and that's what set the code and put it in kind of a limp mode, you know, no power and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, that's what we're going to further diagnose there. But basically, you know, as it stands right now, it's looking like we're going to need the map sensor. But the reason why I'm going to go a little bit further in the testing and all that stuff is because we can plug that back in here to clear fault codes. And I think the cooling fan one is not going to come up right now until you start the engine. We'll try that just out of curiosity, but read fault code. Okay, we got nothing in there now. Let's go back here to the data stream. We're going to go boost pressure and the boost voltage. Might as well go in with the intake volts or whatnot. These are normal readings right here. Come on, camera. This is pretty normal reading right here as far as, you know, even the boost pressure and then the voltage on that. That's all. That's, you know, that's what that sensor is supposed to be reading. So we're going to go ahead and fire this engine up and see what happens with these numbers, and which this boost shouldn't change. These temperature ones will as the thing warms up. All right, we're not really going to see that in, you know, real time as anything like that with this thing just idling. Obviously, these aren't going to change because, you know, we're not going to get no more boost. This number is going to take a while, and it might come up just as the whole engine kind of warms up a little bit. But, you know, we're going to see that for quite a while. But the other thing is, you know, we don't have no voltage, you know, bouncing up and down. You can wiggle these wires and on the sensor and, you know, stuff like that. And see if the numbers change and all that, which they don't. So basically at this point, you know, we need to fix this cooling fan problem. But I bet you could drive this thing around, and that it'll probably take a while before that thing, if ever, comes back. I'm just wondering if it happened when this did. So we're gonna keep on going with investigating that. Okay, I'm not seeing anything that in this schematic that's showing the possibility of it having anything to do with that cooling fan deal or not yet anyways. And this is the reason why I was thinking about that. So you got your sensor right here, the one we've been messing with here. We got our 5 volt, you know, reference coming in here, goes over here, goes out, you know, pin 8. It's a dark green with an orange tracer on it. So if we go back to the other schematic, this is now 1 of 4. That other one was just one we were just looking at was 2 of 4. So you go 8 right here. If you follow it all the way back, it's a 5 volt supply, dark green and orange. But you can see right here that there's a splice here which goes down and it supplies your AC pressure transducer. And then it's also, I don't know what the dots are for, if that's like that all the time or I don't know, but anyways, it's got to have, you know, it's got a camshaft position sensor, so it's got to have this anyways. But here's another splice right here. It takes your 5 volts down here to the camshaft sensor. It also goes back here, goes out 9. So now we're going to go back to 2 of 4. And we're going to follow 9, which goes down here to the 5 volt reference to your fuel rail pressure sensor. So that's what I was thinking, was if that maybe shared that 5 volts, but I don't see nothing. So if we go back here to this schematic, which is now 3 of 4, here is your fan. And you know, none of these, I mean, all these wires go to the ECM, but none of them share anything with this sensor. They don't share like a 5 volt reference, any of the signals, none of that kind of stuff. So it may not be the case. Now, it's possible that that wire is coming open at different times, causing the voltage to drop. That is possible. We'd have to drive it, try to catch it in the act, but this thing just, you know, I've driven this thing around a bunch and it's not acting up at the moment. So basically, I'm just, right now, can give the customer an option is obviously we need to fix the fan clutch. That needs to be fixed. And then if they want to go ahead and replace the map sensor, we can, or if we want to just leave it, fix the fan clutch, let them take it and drive it. That's what I got to have a customer, you know, the talk for. So anyhow, we'll keep on going with that. But you know, like I said, I don't see nothing going on. You know, we don't need to do any checks on this because obviously we know what happened. The whole thing just got whacked off somehow or another by the fan. One thing I can, you know, go through right quick on these deals, you know, we got to the point where we were here in test number 3, you know, where this 238 popped up. Now, if that was a no, then we would go down here, you know, and they're wanting you to disconnect the ECM harness and all of that stuff. You know, and you're to ohm check basically, because this, you'll hear obviously this wire that goes down to that sensor makes its way down to the ECM, which is down there. And so, you know, obviously if this test didn't work for you, then you just keep on going, and that's pretty much, we need to find one of these, print this out on, you know, Mitchell and all that stuff. Get a wiring schematic of some sort if you're going to troubleshoot this. But anyways, I got to talk to the customer and find out exactly what they want to do, and most likely we're probably just going to go ahead and, you know, fix the fan clutch. If they want to spend the money, I mean, it's close to $200 or something like that for a new speed sensor there from, you know, from Dodge. Not speed sensor, gee whiz. Oh, it's almost 6 o'clock and I'm ready to get out of here. This boost sensor, but you know, if they want to just go ahead and spend the money, it's you know, obviously not going to be any extra labor to change it because it's really easy to change. This is obviously going to be charged some labor to do, but yeah, anyhow, that's where we're going to go. I'm going to tell them about and go from there. All right, folks, we got the next day. I got the new fan clutch in. We've got new map sensor back in there. That's what we decided to do. I'm going to go in here and just see what fault codes are in here. I kind of expected these because I started the pickup up here and moved it into the shop this morning, so, but we don't have any other faults. Clear these. Okay, back in here to, says there's no more, so yeah, should be all right. We're gonna go back in here to read data stream. Just kind of curious of these numbers, so we're gonna go in here and I'm gonna ambient. Some volts, and then we're gonna down here and go to intake. Temperature, degree, volts. All right. Voltage is a little high. Oh, wait a minute, I didn't get the boost pressure. So one of these is, yeah, I was looking for the, never mind. We don't need this. We need boost volts and boost pressure. There we go. Boost volts is the same. Number is pretty close to the same. I don't remember what the air intake. Have to go back and watch the other parts of the video to, when I edit it, and I'll know if that's the same or not. But yeah, that's about all we can really do. We'll take this out and drive it, see if maybe we can get some of these numbers to change, and most definitely see if we can get this thing to, you know, if it's going to act up, then we'll know about it. But yeah, let's keep on going. Basically, pretty much I can't drive it with this in here. It's just in the way of the clutch. So I'm gonna even if I try my dangest, you know, because when I go in with the top of my foot's gonna hit that thing. I mean, it's out there too long. That's just the way it is. Ran this thing a little bit. Still no DTCs. We did see a little bit of numbers changing as I rev the engine up. You know, for that, but it's really not going to matter. But it is, the voltage is changing on the boost pressure when I rev this thing up to like almost 2500. You know, just kind of did a little bit of a shock, you know, whoa, whoa, a couple times. And so anyways, we'll take this out and drive it and see how it goes. Well, folks, we took that pickup out and drove it, I don't know, maybe 15 miles or so, all different kinds of speeds, lots of stop and go, and nothing, no faults of any kind returned. Even though I didn't myself see a lot of the faults happen prior to it coming in. The only time I ever really saw the faults is either when we made them happen, or what it came with when it first came to the shop. So I don't, well, supposedly we got it fixed. I'm actually recording this section of the deal here, just kind of a finish up deal, because I forgot to do it before. And that was, now it's been more than a week. I haven't heard anything from them at all. And, you know, they would have definitely called if the thing was acting up again. So anyways, hopefully we think we got it. So anyways, thanks for watching.